Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out on another walk. And today, this is part 2 of my exploration of the Serpent Trail here in West Sussex. And the Serpent Trail goes from Haslemere, which I think is just on the border of Sussex and Surrey, and it wiggles its way serpent-like to Petersfield in Hampshire. The thing about it is, it doesn't just go, as I say, directly. It goes in a snake-like fashion through beautiful woodland and heathland, and it's about 64 odd miles long. Here is the sign that I'm following. These are all over the place, guiding me along, and I'm at the moment, I'm just north of Fittleworth, and I'm coming through this rather incredible woodland, which is principally chesswood and beech. But this is part 2, so do check out the first part. I've got to go up this way where we can see some felling has been taking place. I'm going to investigate that in a second, but I want to point out another feature of the landscape. Here you can see the old stalls, but not only that, they're all joined together, and this is what's making a barrier. And actually, they're on a marker. This would delineate one wood from another back in, well, as far back as possibly the 16th century or even medieval times. So that wood would have belonged to somebody else. You can see from this raised boundary marker, which is this bank, and then this wood, somebody else's. Let's go and explore more on the Serpent Trail. Climbing up this hill on this December day, it's not actually very cold, and fortunately the sun is shining, which is great. But we're going through an area that fairly recently, I can see, there's been quite a bit of felling. These old chestnut trees, by the looks of them, have a look at this great stump that's left here. Well, it's not really a stump, it's actually a stool. And believe it or not, from that, and this one here as well, this is a great one. New growth will happen and trees will sprout from it. Look at these, great lengths of timber. For me, it's absolutely fantastic to see this coppicing continuing, this old, very traditional woodland management in operation. More of it should happen. We have quite a lot of woodland that has effectively been abandoned, and not much is happening with it. Quite what they're going to do with the wood, I don't know, whether it's going to be timber or firewood, or whether some of it will just be used in beam poles, posts and that sort of thing. There's a typical example of a stool, a new growth growing out of it. Looks like we've got some fir trees here as well. Let's carry on up the hill and see where it takes us. Perhaps we'll get a good view. Well, I find myself now, ladies and gentlemen, on a road. Come out on the road. There's a sign here tells me that I've been walking through the Stopham estate, and it advises me to keep my dog on a close control. Luckily, I don't have a dog. And the signpost here, which you can't really see, is actually telling me that the rest of the route is down this way. So it's down through this tarmacked path now that we cross a bit of land, I assume, and we'll get on to another countrified route. And I think the trail has been organised that you get the maximum crossing points across the beautiful countryside, but you do occasionally come down these fortunately quiet country lanes. Well, I've come off the road. I had to walk, I don't know, a couple of 100 yards, maybe 500 yards, something like that. And then suddenly the signpost came up and we're back into some more woodland here. You can see there's a little stream down here, or brook I suppose, and beside it a bank. Again, no doubt a marker, but also I've noticed that the ground, have a look at this. Great banks sweep up behind me. We've got more fir trees in here, a lot more oaks, and I just kind of get the sense that this is an older wood. We can get to hear the water here. We've had a lot of water recently, and so presumably it's runoff from the downs. The leaves under my feet are very handy because they are taking away any mud, so it makes it a much easier walk. Going through some holly here, look. Very curious to see quite where this takes me when I get the other side of the wood and what we face. So I shall plod on a little further, past not only some oak trees, but actually, for once, a rather fabulous beach. I've just come down through some birch trees actually, and I think I'm coming to the end now of this section of woodland. There's an old stone wall, and beyond there's a farm and a house, which is very nice. Some ivy here beyond. But I'm carrying on up this way. Right, oh yeah, carrying on. This has, I have to say, I'm very impressed with the signage on this particular trail. We're coming here now on the edge of the coppiced woodland that I've been following. There's a sign, another sign here, which gives us the route that way. It's interesting because you follow the arrow head, the head of the snake, to tell you. And also if you get these moments like this where you think, oh, there's another path, you are told that it's private, no right of way. So I think that's very good. Right, well, this path now carries on along here at the edge of more coppicing, and this field opened up. We're obviously come up to a bit of a rise. There's a house, that farmhouse nestling in the dip, and on the route goes. And that's really about all I've got time for in this video, but I'll do some more on the Serpent Trail and follow more of it. What I'll do, I think, is to drive to different points and then do those walks with these beautiful trails leading off and the main route ahead of me going into some more woodland. I shall bid you farewell and thank you for watching another of my explorations, and join me again when I go exploring. In the meantime, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow if you're on Facebook. and think about becoming a patron and support the Bald Explorer. A little donation every week or every month would help put petrol in the car and get me out and about exploring this beautiful countryside. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Till then, goodbye.